All right, so if I wanted to know how many characters, I'm gonna erase this part. I'm just gonna focus on assuming that the last name is that. So if I wanted to know how many characters a particular array has, any array, I'm looking for this value, right? The null terminator. And basically wherever that index position is how many characters I have. So that item is in position 5. So I got 5 characters to the left. I could write something. Let's say I want to make a function for this. I'm going to write it below. And let's see, this returns an integer because it's a whole number, and I want to know how long that is. So I can call it length, right? Just a name. And this length takes an array of characters. So I can pass an array of characters, or I can pass a pointer. It's the same thing. I'm gonna abbreviate it as string like that. I'm gonna say this is my return value. I'm gonna call it length equals not 0. Yeah, let's put it 0. Let's call it -1. There is no string of a -1 length for now. I could come up with some sort of loop to find it, right? I could do a for loop. I could do less than what? I don't know how long that is. Maybe I couldn't. Maybe I shouldn't use a for loop then. Let's just use a while loop. So I can use that sentinel value. Maybe I need another variable. Now I'm gonna call this continue maybe. And it's gonna have the initial value of true. Well, there's not really negative. Let's put 0 initial value. And I can make a while loop here. While we continue to do something. And there's my So what should I write in here? I don't know. Maybe I put an if statement. I'll say if the current position, which is length 0, right? If the string is equals then the null character. Well, when it's a character, we use single quotes, right? So that's what it is, or we can write the word null. We don't continue doing this anymore. We'll get out of here. Into false. But what if it wasn't? I need an else. And what should the else be? We'll just increment the size. I think that should work. I pass a pointer, treat it as an array. I start at length 0. I mean, there's no thing in the string. And I loop until I find this. So let's see if this one works. 0, starts at 0, is 0, g equal to null, no. Then increment length. So now its length is 1. Is I equals that, no. Then increment to 2. R equals to that, no. Increment. Is O equal to that? Nope. Increment. Is 4 equal to that? I'm sorry, N equal to that? Nope. Increment. I want 5. Is 5 equal to that? Yep. Then don't continue. Return. So I got 5 characters, so that looks like it works. What if I don't want to call it length? I call this string length. Well, that string length works like that, and it's in this library. Yeah.
I'm confused for the while. Doesn't it continue out to have a statement like continue equals false or continue equals true in order to?
What is initial value?
0.
True. Continuous true.
Oh, okay.
So, well, true. I never changed the true until I find that.
Right. Okay.
So, try it. Now, that's how this function works, string length. And it's built in. So you don't have to rewrite it. You can just call string length. And it tells you how many characters are in that array. So, what if I am looking for a character in particular? You're looking for, I want to know where the R is.
Yeah.
Like for instance, you're validating an email address. You know the email address has to have the @ sign. So the @ sign if you go this way from left to right, you'll find it in a position greater than 0, obviously. That cannot be in the end. But let's say you find one. Well, if you go from the right to the left, you should find it at the same position, right? That means there's only one, because you cannot have an email address with 2 @ signs. Right? So, can I erase this? Alright, so this is not built in. I'm gonna call this, at least not in C, index of. So basically this index of function that I'm coming up with, I'm trying to find this character, where is it in this string, right? So basically I gotta parse the array from left to right. Let's say I'm looking for the letter R in here. You can see it's there. We'll try later trying to find the W. So I'm gonna declare a variable, call it position. I'm gonna initialize it to -1, and I'm gonna return that variable. I know there's no negative indexes. So, in this one, I'm gonna need another int. I'm gonna call this len. And this is just gonna be the string length of that. Because I'm gonna use it for later, because I want to look for the character and I don't wanna go beyond the null. Thank you. So I could do a for loop here, I suppose. Now I can use that length. And in here, all I gotta do is compare each character to that. So it's a simple if statement. If string I equals to that character I passed, then that position is I. So if I'm looking for the letter R, I start 0, 0 equals to I, no, R, I'm sorry, nope. Just goes to I equals 1, then R equals, I equals 2. Yeah, they're true, so the position is 2 here. And finish all the way to the end, and then returns that 2. But that's kind of silly though. If I already found it, why do I need to keep searching the array? There's no point, right? What if there's another R later? It will give me that one, right? I only wanted the first one. So how do I exit this? I'll cheat. Basically, a break, book doesn't like you to use it, I don't like you to use it, but you can do it. Basically, a break exits the loop, whatever it is. It's not gonna test anything, it just stops. So if you're in a loop, while loop, do while loop, or for loop, if it finds the word break, it just gets out.
Why don't you like that?
Because there's another one called continue that goes along with that, and it's kind of hard to debug sometimes. Reality, instead of doing that, I could do something like this. If I don't use the break, I can say and position is less than 0. I plus plus. I can add a condition here. That'll work too. That's a little bit more elegant. Just remember, the for loop is just like a while loop. It's a pre-test loop. And this is just a condition that you can put inside a while loop. So now, if I pass the letter W, it's not going to be there. So it's going to return -1, because that's the initial value. And of course, you will have to put all your documentation. This is not in here, that's why I'm giving it to you. So, since we didn't do lab last time, do you think you can do the last index of? And submit it today, before class. So I want you to do another method called last index of. Alright, so since we got a little over an hour, let's do that.
Just as the opposite has from the